Hello everyone, myself Dr. S.K. Pawar from Department of Mathematics, SRM College Kudal, District Sindhudurg. I would like to share with you the concept of change of variables in double and triple integral, how we can use the change of variables, the trick of change of variables in the evaluation of double and triple integrals. You will be at the end, you will be knowing, you will be quite familiar with the use of change of variables in the evaluation of double as well as triple integral. And not only that, see, I will also try to share with you why we should use change of variable and when to use change of variable. See, many times we find during the exam hours or whenever you are doing your homework, we get jumbled. Whether I should go directly for the solution or whether I should go for the change of variable. Remember, you just check the nature of the problem or check the domain of the integration, and by doing only this, using only these two checks for the function, nature of the function, suppose it is difficult, lengthy, and second thing required, sufficient thing or necessary thing for that, and the domain of integration is familiar to you. Familiar to you means maybe a circle or a part of a circle, then we will try to use this. So, we will discuss all these things in detail in my lecture. So, I welcome all of you in my today's lecture on change of variables in double and triple integrals. Let us see some problems about change of variables in double integral. Friends, you know how to evaluate double and triple integrals of various types of functions in R2 and R3, okay, where the domain of the function is a subset of R2 or R3. Now see, if given function, any given function, if it is complicated one, for example, suppose you are given a function like this, f of xy is 1 upon say under root say 2 plus x square plus y square, or suppose you are given a function like this, f of xy is say 1 upon even 1 plus x square plus y square, and if you want to integrate this function over any region, over any domain, then to take the integral of this, see, the domain of any function will give you the limits of integration. The domain on which the function is defined, it will give you the limits of integration for given function. But in spite of the limits, first of all, what you have to do is you have to take the integral of this with respect to x in usual way or with respect to y in usual way, and then you put the limits. See, if the function is complicated one, whose integral is not possible by using any of the standard formulas, then it becomes difficult to evaluate such type of integrals. Okay, so if it is not possible or it is complicated or it will take so much time to evaluate the integral, to take the integral of given function in usual way, in such cases there is a easy tool to help us in the evaluation of integrals of such a type of functions. Now see what type of functions we should consider here. You consider those functions. Here we are going to consider those functions whose domain is a part of a circle or a part of a circular disc, a part of a parabola and a circular, it is the intersection of a circular disc and a parabola, or it is the intersection of a ellipsoid and a circular disc, or it is the intersection of a line and a circular disc, That means if domain, how may be the function, however it may be complicated, if the domain of the function is either a part of a circle or a part of a ellipse, or in 3 dimension it is a part of a ellipsoid or a hyperboloid or a sphere. What I am saying, if the domain of integration of any given function which is complicated one, if its domain is a part of a circle or a part of a circular disc or a part of a ellipse or a ellipsoid or a sphere or a paraboloid, then such type of functions can be integrated using change of variable. Change of variable reduces given integral of given functions into simple form. It becomes very easy to evaluate the integrals. So, see, why do we do change of variable, or why do we go for change of variable, and when we should go for change of variable? See, once again, number 1, if domain of the integration, domain of given function is, or the region of integration is the part of standard object such as circle or a circular disc or a sphere or a ellipsoid or a paraboloid, if in such cases, if the region of integration is such a domain and the function may be complicated or may not be complicated, if you feel or if you come to know that domain of integration is part of such a standard region, such a standard object, immediately you go for change of variable. Definitely it will reduce your work, it will reduce your calculation, and calculation becomes easy. Okay, so that's why, because of these 2 reasons, we accept or we prefer change of variable formulas in the evaluation of either double integral or in triple integral. Now, let us do some problems regarding change of variable in double integral. As all of you know, for change of variable in double integral, the simple change of variable formula is from Cartesian coordinates to polar coordinates. Cartesian to polar. If the region of integration or domain of integration, okay, is a part of a circular disc, it may be intersection of a line and a circle, or it may be a part of the region of intersection of a circle and a parabola, or a ellipse and a parabola, whatever it may be. Okay, so in such cases we prefer change of variables from Cartesian coordinates to polar coordinates. If your Cartesian coordinates are x, y, then we change this to r theta. R is the radius and theta is the angle. Okay, so that means if your domain of integration is such a circle, and if I consider here any point xy, then the position of same point, suppose this is point P, position of point P can be determined by knowing its Cartesian coordinate x and y, or the same point can be identified using polar coordinates, r theta. What is r? What is the radius? Radius vector of point P, and what is the angle made by the line segment directed from origin to P with positive direction of x-axis, this is r and this is theta. So this is r and theta, order pair r and theta is another identity of a point whose Cartesian coordinates are x, y. Now, what is the relation between this r and theta? See, both of them describe the same point P. Then, what is the relation between these Cartesian coordinates and polar coordinates x, y and r theta? You know very well, since your 12th standard, x is r cos theta and y is r sin theta. X is r cos theta, y is r sin theta. So if you consider any point here whose Cartesian coordinates are x comma y, then its polar coordinates are r cos theta comma r sin theta, where r is the radius and theta is the angle made by the position vector of point P with positive direction of x axis. Now depends on this, as see r is fixed for a given circle, radius is fixed. Now if I want to describe all the points on the circle, then what I have to vary? R is always fixed. See, for any point on this circle, for any point P on this circle, R is fixed. R remains always constant. Then, and if I want to describe all the points on the circle, then what I have to do is, I have to, if I move the point P from this place to this place, yes, only its angle will go on changing. This theta will go on changing. If P is here, theta will change. So theta is important here. As theta varies, as theta goes on changing, the position of point P or point P will go on changing its position. What are the limits then if your point P moves throughout the circle? Yes, for whole of the circle, theta will vary from 0 to 2 pi. If theta moves in the first quadrant only, then theta is 0 to pi by 2. If theta varies from, suppose here is a point, say Q, and here is point R. If my point P is here at Q and it moves from this to this, yes, what is the angle through which theta will move? Here angle is pi by 2, from this angle to this angle. So means if domain of integration is this region, then theta will run from pi by 2 to here is pi by 2, here pi, and here 3 pi by 2. So theta runs from pi by 2 to 3 pi by 2. So this is how you can find the limits of limits for theta. Okay. So and use these limits. It is easy to find the limits of theta. R is always fixed. So use this relation between Cartesian coordinates and polar coordinates in order to evaluate any given integral whose domain is either a circle or a circular disc or a ellipse or a parabola or paraboloid ellipsoid, or the domain of integration is the intersection of these standard objects. Okay, so now we will use this concept of change of variables and do some problems and see the calculation of some integrals will become simple one. So now we will use these basics or this logic of converting Cartesian coordinates to polar coordinates. We will use these basics to do some problems on double integral. See the integral minus 1 to 0, integral minus under root 1 minus x square to root 1 minus x square x dy dx. So this is the integral where the limits of x, limits of y. So these are the, see, this is with respect to y first. So limits of y are, y runs from minus root 1 minus x square to plus root 1 minus x square, and limits of x are minus 1 to 0. So first of all we will note the limits. So limits of x and y are, what are the limits of x? X runs from, so yes, for x runs from minus 1 to 0, that is x is equal to minus 1 to x is equal to 0, and yes, y runs from minus 1 minus x square to 1 minus x square. Now what is this minus 1 minus x, root 1 minus x square? So that is y is equal to minus under root 1 minus x square to y is equal to plus under root 1 minus x square. Okay, here yes, y square is equal to, what is this? Y square is equal to square both sides. Square both sides. Now I want to determine what is the region of integration or what is the domain of integration of this given function. Here f of xy is x. F of xy is simply x. So y square is equal to this. If you square this minus sign will go out, and what you will find, root will also go out. You either square this or square this. If you square, because this quantity is the same, this quantity is the same, only they differ in minus sign. Y runs from minus to plus, below x axis to above x axis. So y is equal to 1 minus x square, or let's simplify this, x square plus y square is equal to 1. And what is this? Which is a circle, which is nothing but a circle with center at origin and radius 1. So see, y runs from, yes, y runs from minus this part to plus this part of the circle. Now we will see actually what is the domain of integration. Okay, so the domain of integration is, see the region now. So x runs from minus 1 to 0. So we will plot the region. We will see, first of all, I will first of all plot this circle so that the things will become easy. Now suppose this is, suppose this is radius 1. So here will be 1 comma 0, and this will be minus 1 comma 0, right? This will be again 0 comma minus 1, and here is 1 comma 0. So this is the circle. X square plus y square is equal to 1. Now see, what is about x? X runs from minus 1. So x is equal to minus 1. Where is x is equal to minus 1? X is equal to minus 1 is the line. It is the line, yes, parallel to, it is the line parallel to x axis, y axis. X is equal to minus 1. So this line to x is equal to 0. Where is x is equal to 0? What is x is equal to 0? It is y axis. So this is x is equal to 0. So see, your domain of integration is now between x is equal to minus 1 to x is equal to 0. So between these two lines, and it is the part of the circle. Between these two lines, part of this circle. And what is this part of circle? Yes, this portion. See, the semicircle to the left of y-axis is the domain of integration or region of integration here. Okay, so our y runs from this point to this point, this point to this point, right? So this portion of the circle to this portion of circle. So this is domain of integration. Now we will have a change of coordinates. Okay, so in polar coordinates, x is, what is x? R cos theta. What is y? R sin theta. And what is about dx dy? In change of variable formula, when we go from xy to r theta, what is the change of variable? Dx dy is r dr d theta, r dr d theta. You might have seen this in change of variable formula in double integral during your theory part, right? So now see, what are the limits of r now? This circle, what is this circle? What is the identity of this circle? R is equal to 1. This circle is of radius 1. So it is, you say its Cartesian equation is x square plus y square is equal to 1. Its polar equation is r is equal to 1. Another name for this circle or another identity of this circle is r is equal to 1. Now, so here r runs from 0 to 1. So radius will run from 0 to 1 in this domain of integration. Now what is about theta? What is about theta? Our domain of integration is, see, I want to cover this region. I want to cover this portion. So, our strip now, usually when we are in Cartesian coordinates, when we want to find limits of integration, what we do is, we take a strip or a line parallel to x-axis, a strip like this, in the domain of integration, and move it along y-axis, and we find the limits. Now here we are in now polar coordinates. In polar coordinates, r and theta are the variables. So I have already told you r is always constant along the circle, but theta will describe all the points on the circle. So our strip here will be, like this. Our strip will be like this. This is our strip now. This is the strip. You move this strip from this point to this point, and this will cover your region. Move this strip now. Okay. So when we move this strip from this point to this point, yes, what is the angle through which this theta will go? So theta will travel from, yes, theta will travel from, here is theta pi by 2, you know, here pi, and here is 3 pi by 2. So theta will move from pi by 2 to 3 pi by 2. So theta moves from pi by 2 to 3 pi by 2. So these are the limits of r and theta. Now you go for the integral. Yes, here what is I is equal to integral minus 1 to 0, integral minus under root 1 minus x square to under root 1 minus x square x dy and dx, x dy and dx. So this is equal to, in polar coordinates now, in polar coordinates, either you write these limits first or these limits first, doesn't matter. Okay, so I will go for c theta 3 pi by 2 to pi by 2, 0 to 1. These are the limits, change in limits. Now what is x here? X is, what is x in polar coordinate? R cos theta. And what is now dy dx or dx dy? It is r dr d theta. So r dr d theta. So this equals integral 3 pi by 2, sorry, we should take the limits properly, so because it runs from pi by 2 to 3 pi by 2, pi by 2 to 3 pi by 2, integral 0 to 1 r square cos theta dr d theta, right? Now we will evaluate this integral. Therefore I is equal to integral pi by 2 to 3 pi by 2. Now with respect to r, what is the integral of cos theta is our constant with respect to r. So I will take cos theta here, and integral of r square is r cube by 3 over 0 to 1. This is d theta, right? So cos theta, I have taken it outside, and integral of r square is r cube by 3. So this is equal to integral pi by 2 to 3 pi by 2. Now otherwise we will directly write the answer. So this is equal to, what is r cube by 3? Just put upper limit 1 by 3, lower limit 0. So simply 1 by 3 integral pi by 2 to 3 pi by 2 cos theta d theta. Now what is integral of cos theta? Cos theta is the derivative of sin theta. So its integral is sin. So 1 by 3 sin theta pi by 2 to 3 pi by 2. So this equals 1 by 3 What is sine 3 pi by 2? Sine 3 pi by 2. Yes, always sine is here minus 1. Here is always plus 1. Sine here is 0 and here is 0. So sine of 3 pi by 2 is minus 1 minus upper limit minus lower limit sine pi by 2, it is 1. So this is minus 2 upon 3. Therefore, the integral of given answer is minus 2 upon 3. So this is the final answer of your problem. So see once again, have a quick look at how we do the evaluation of a double integral using polar coordinates. So when we do such a evaluation, see, as when I consider the limits of integration and if I simplify them and I came to know that it is a part of circle. If it is a part of circle, yes, I know if it is a part of circle, I should go for change of variable in polar coordinate. So that calculation will become easy. So as it is a part of circle, so I choose polar coordinate. So in polar coordinate, x r cos theta, y r sin theta, dx dy is r dr d theta, and just find now the circle, its radius is 1. So this equation of the circle is r is equal to 1. See what is the using the given limits. See the limits, given limits, and find the limit, find the domain of integration first, and then here by given data the domain of integration is this left part of the circle, and in the left part of the circle theta runs from pi by 2 to 3 pi by 2. So that has the limits of r and theta. Now use x, this dx dy in the given integral, use the limits and just do the simple calculations. This will give you very easily the answer of given problem. Now let us do another problem on change of variable. Consider this problem, integral 0 to 1, integral 0 to under root 1 minus y square cos of x square plus y square dx dy. Just see here, what are the limits of x here? Here x is first with respect, here derivative integral with respect to x first. That means these are the limits of x. X runs from x is equal to 0 to x is equal to under root, x is equal to under root 1 minus y square. If you square this, x square is equal to 1 minus y square, x square plus y square is equal to 1. So just see, it is part of a circle. So as I have already told you, whenever the domain of integration is a part of circle, we must go, or it is easy to go for the evaluation of the integral for polar coordinates. Another reason what I have told you is, if your function is complicated, here see how is your function. Your function f of x y is cos of x square plus y square. Can you take its integral directly using any formula? Integral of cos x square plus y square, do you know? Yes, we don't know how to take integral directly. There is no formula, direct formula for integral of cos of x square plus y square. So it is very difficult to take the integral using usual ways. So that's why change of variable is must. Okay, it will give you, when we solve the problem, you will see easily you will get the answer. So let us first see what are the limits and what is the domain of integration, and we will plot the domain of integration also. Here, yes, what are the limits of, I will write y first. Here y runs from 0 to 1, x runs from 0 to under root 1 minus y square, 1 minus y square. So therefore x is equal to 1 minus root 1 minus x square implies x square is equal to 1 minus y square. This implies x square plus y square is equal to 1. So see my x runs from 0 to this circle up to the boundary of the circle. So these are the limits of x. So the domain of integration is part of this circle of radius 1, or this circle is r is equal to 1 in polar coordinates. Now just we will plot the domain of integration. as a circle. So yes, suppose this is, I will write here, x square plus y square is equal to 1. This is your y is equal to 0, x axis is y is equal to 0. This is your x is equal to 0, x is equal to 0, y is equal to 0, x is equal to 0. I have these two. Now y is equal to 1. Where is y is equal to 1? Y is equal to 1 is here. So this line, this is y is equal to 1. See, now I have everything. What are the limits of y? Y runs from 0 to 1. So y runs from 0 to 1. So our domain of integration should lie between these two lines. And not only that, yes, what are the another restrictions? X runs from 0. So x is equal to 0 to the circle. So what is our domain? Domain of integration is this first quadrant. Domain of integration is first quadrant of this circle. Okay, so therefore, what are the limits now in polar coordinates? So first of all, we will go in polar coordinates. So in polar coordinates, x is r cos theta, y is r sin theta, and this area element dx dy is same as r dr, r times dr d theta. Now we want to find what are the limits of r and what are the limits of theta. So see, this is domain. So here we have to take a strip here. How is our strip now? Our strip is this. Okay, either you take a line or you take a here strip, because we want to cover this portion. So our strip will move in this first quadrant and it will go, yes, it will move from theta is equal to 0 to theta is equal to pi by 2. And what is about r? Radius of the circle is 1. So here r runs from 0 to 1, and what is about theta? So simple limits. Theta runs from 0 to pi by 2. Theta runs from 0 to pi by 2. Now just go for your integral. So therefore I is equal to integral 0 to 1, integral 0 to under root 1 minus y square, 1 minus y square, cos of x square plus y square dx dy. This equals integral. Now what are the limits of theta? Or I may write limits of r also first, no problem. Integral r runs from 0 to 1, theta runs from 0 to pi by 2, cos of what is x square plus y square here? X square plus y square, r square cos square theta plus r square sin square theta. So r square into bracket cos square plus sin square, and that will be simply r square. So cos of r square, and dx dy is r dr d theta. So this is equal to integral 0 to 1. Now what we will do is, now we will integrate with respect to theta first. So with respect to theta, this r cos r square and r, they are constant. So see, r cos of r square into integral of d theta with respect to, yes, integral of d theta over 0 to pi by 2. Integral of d theta is theta, and over 0 to pi by 2, and this is dr. Because with respect to theta, these r quantities are constant and we take them outside. So integral of d theta is theta over 0 to pi by 2. What is this integral? Simply pi by 2. Pi by 2. So this is pi by 2 integral 0 to 1 r cos of r square dr. Now again there is a problem. Integral of cos of r square. We know what is integral of cos of r. That will be sin of r. But easily you cannot take, and here is again r. So either you do substitution or you may go by part, but it will again tedious. So what we will do is we will put a substitution here. We will make a substitution and integral will be easy. So put r square is equal to t. Put r square is equal to t. So that yes, differentiating both sides with respect to t. Yes, now differentiate r square. First of all, power. What is the integral of r square? Yes, derivative of r square. It is integral of power is 2r into integral of r with respect to t is dr by dt is equal to, what is integral of t with respect to t? It is 1, right? So therefore, yes, see, my integral consists of r dr. Here is r dr. So what I will do is here r dr. Therefore r dr is, yes, take this 2 to this side, half dt. R dr is half dt. Also, what are the limits now? If we change the variable, you have to see what is the change in the limits. Also, r runs from 0 to 1 implies t runs from. Now, if you take r is equal to 0, what is about t? T is also 0. 0 square is 0. So t runs from 0 to, when r is 1, r square is also 1. So limits will be retained as 0 and 1. Therefore, I is equal to this pi by 2 integral 0 to 1. Now see, r dr is half dt and cos of r square is cos of t and half dt. Take this half outside, so this equals pi by 4. What is integral of cos t? Simply sin t, integral 0 to 1. So simple, and this will give you pi by 4 into sin of 1 minus sin of 0. This is equal to pi into sin of 1, pi by 4 into sin of 1. So this is because sin of 0 is 0, that you know. So therefore, what is the answer, final answer? So I is equal to pi by 4 into sin of 1. So this is how we have evaluated the integral of a complicated function using change of variable from Cartesian to polar and making the integral easy to evaluate. So that's why the change of variable, whenever the domain is a part of a circle or a circular disc or a ellipse or a sphere, and another thing, in addition to that, if your function is complicated, then also you may prefer the change of variable and the calculation will give you the easy method in evaluation of these types of integrals. Let us do one more problem on double integral, evaluation of double integral. In the previous two examples, we were given iterated integrals. Now see double integral over s of x plus y dA, either it may be dx dy or dy dx, where s is, what is the domain of integration? It is the region in the first quadrant bounded by the lines y is equal to 0, y is equal to 0, you know that is x-axis, the line x is equal to y upon root 3, and the circle r is equal to 2. R is equal to 2 means x square plus y square is equal to radius 2. Radius 2 means x square plus y square is equal to 4. So this is what the given integral is. So you have already given them the limits. So see what are the given limits. First of all, we will note the limits here, yes, here. Instead of doing this, so first of all, what I will do is first we plot the region S, and you will get the limits easily. Region S. So how is our region? So it is the circle. R is equal to 2, radius is 2. So radius 2. So this is circle R is equal to 2. So this is my x-axis. So it is y is equal to 0. This is our y-axis. Now see this line. X is equal to, I have y is equal to 0. I have plotted two things. Y is equal to 0. This line x-axis. Then I have drawn the circle R is equal to 2. Circle of radius 2. Now x is equal to y upon root 3. X is equal to y root 3. So x is equal to y by root 3. This implies y is equal to root 3x. Y is equal to root 3x. Do you observe? How is this? Y is equal to mx, which is of the type, yes, y is equal to mx. Y is equal to mx. So here, yes, here m is equal to root 3. So therefore, what is tan theta? That is tan theta is root 3. Tan theta root 3 means it is nothing but the slope. Slope is given by tan theta. So tan theta is root 3. Therefore, what is theta? What is the angle made by this line? Immediately you will get what is the angle? Yes, it is nothing but pi by 3, because tan pi by 3 is root 3. So see, this line passes through the origin and it makes an angle of 60 degree or pi by 3. So yes, this is x is equal to y upon root 3. Y upon root 3, and yes, this angle is pi by 3. Now, once you plot this line, let us see what is the domain of integration. What is S now? What is S here? S is region bounded by y is equal to 0. Then this line in between these two and the circle. So see, this is our S. So this is S. This is our S. This is S. Now you take a streak in this region. You take a streak and move this streak throughout. Move this streak throughout to find the angle. Now very clearly you have, in an easy way, you have the limits of theta. So let us go now for polar coordinates. So as usual, in polar coordinates, so what we have is x is r cos theta, y is r sin theta. Then the area element dx dy is r times dr d theta. Also, what are the limits of r? R runs from 0 to 2. Radius of the circle is 0 to 2, and through, yes, how much angle? This theta should vary. Theta varies from 0 to pi by 3. So thus you have both the limits of r and theta. So Now to you evaluate the integral, so therefore I is equal to, consider your integral over s x plus y dA. This is equal to integral 0 to 2, integral 0 to pi by 3, and what is the integrand? X plus y. So x plus y, r cos theta plus r sin theta, and dA. What is dA here? This is dA. dA is nothing but dx dy. That is r dr d theta. So r dr d theta. So what we do is we will first take r common, and so just see, or we will take first with respect to, I will take first with respect to r, so that calculation will become easy again. You do either way, the things will be quite simple. So integral 0 to 2, take r common and this r, so r square into cos theta plus sin theta, then dr and d theta. So this is equal to integral 0 to pi by 3, What is integral of r square? R square is r cube by 3 cos theta plus sin theta as it is, and with respect to theta. I have taken integral of r square with respect to r first, so that is r cube by 3. So therefore I is equal to, now what are the limits of r? So 0 to 2. Now put upper limit 2 cube, that is 8 by 3, and 0 by 3 is 0. So 8 by 3 integral 0 to pi by 3 of cos theta plus sin theta d theta. Now have the integral with respect to theta. Integral of cos theta, sin theta, and integral of sin theta minus cos theta over 0 to pi by 3. This is equal to 8 by 3 into sin pi by 3, sin 60. What is sin 60? Yes, it is yes, root 3 by 2, and cos 60 is half. So sin pi by 3 minus cos pi by 3 minus, now yes, sin 0 minus cos 0 is 1. So what you have is this. So 8 by 3 into bracket, yes, take this, so this minus will become plus 1. So we will simplify this, root 3 by 2 minus half plus 1. So this is 8 by 3. Now take 2 as LCM, 2. So root 3 minus 1 plus 2. So this is yes, 4 by 3 into root 3 plus 1. So therefore your final answer is 4 by 3 into root 3 plus 1. So this is the value of your given integral. So you might be clear with the use of polar coordinates in evaluating those integrals whose domain is a part of a circle Okay, or it is the intersection of a circle and a line or circle and a parabola also. So that will help us in the easy evaluation of double integrals. So you may do many problems on double integrals or even in triple integrals also, where the function, you feel that function is complicated, but the positive thing about such a function is its domain of integration is either a part of a circular disc or a part of a sphere or a part of a ellipsoid or a part of a paraboloid or a hyperboloid or part of a cone. It is a cone also, part of a cone also, maybe half of the cone. So if your function is complicated but its domain is part of such standard objects, then you always prefer change of variable or the evaluation of such type of integrals. It will help you in saving your time, it will help you in doing calculations easy, and the calculations will be simple also, and it will be possible for you to do these problems without any difficulty. So I think you have now familiar with the trick how to use polar coordinates in the evaluation of double or maybe a triple integral.
So friends, hope you have enjoyed the problems on change of variable in double integrals. Similarly, you can deal with change of variable in triple integrals also. If you have any difficulties regarding change of variable, not only change of variable but regarding the problems on double and triple integrals, maybe you are practical 1 or even now practical 2, you are free to ask me or share your difficulties on my Telegram. So Telegram ID. So Telegram ID you will find on the screen. So you share your difficulties. I will try to help you in all the ways and make your task easy. Not only that, friends, if you need the solutions of problems, all the problems from your practical 1 and practical 2, I have shared all these problems on solved problems in the form of video lectures on YouTube channel Dr. S.K. Pawar SRM. If you feel that I should go for the solution of these problems, then if you subscribe, you will automatically get my future lectures also on these double and triple integrals, and you may find all the problems on my YouTube channel in the playlist Integral Calculus. All the lectures are there. You will find it will be helpful for you. So if you refer all these lectures, I think it will be helpful for you. I have given solution to all the odd number problems from your practical 1 and practical 2. So thank you very much for watching my lecture. If you have any comments or any your compliments, you are free to give these compliments in the comment box. Thank you very much.